Run to your local dollar store and grab a pack of mesh laundry bags, plastic shower curtain rings, a metal cooling rack, a basket or two that are flexible, and metal book rings. You will need 2 screws and your metal rack. Go into your closet and get your rack in a straight line. I am using this bolt on the wall as a reference, but a ruler would work as well if you don't have any reference point. Mark the corners of the rack. Mark the center with a screwdriver. Screw your first screw in. I suggest using power tools. Make sure the screws are fully secure. Put your rack onto the screws. If you have thicker sunglasses, the legs should go against the wall. Thinner, the legs should be out. Fill your rack with sunglasses or any object you would like to go and hang. Now it is extremely easy to have clothing in front and the sunglasses behind without taking up more space. For this organizer, you're going to need the mesh bags, metal rings, and also plastic shower rings. Open up your mesh bags. Some will be easy to open, but some you will need to work with to remove a staple. Make sure the zipper is at the top. Open up a shower ring and push the plastic knob through a hole towards the top. Space out 3 rings at the top and make sure to close them. Now for the bottom of the bag, you will need 3 metal rings. Open one up, loop it through a hole in the bottom of this bag, grab another bag and loop it through the top. Make sure the zipper is facing out. Space the rings like you did at the top and attach one more bag at the bottom. Fold these bags and bring them into your closet. Clip the plastic rings to a bar in your closet. After they are clipped, go and fill your bags. You can really put anything into these bags. Extra shirts fit well, stuffed animals, socks, really anything works in these bags, and this hanger massively helps to free up space. You will need 4 plastic shower rings. Take one ring and loop it into one other. Clip a ring to the handle of your basket. Do this for both sides. Now bring this basket over to your closet. Clip the plastic ring onto a bar in your closet. My husband has a lot of hats, and this is a perfect storage basket for all of them.
So let's talk about shoes. And we could use a shoe organizer, but sometimes you don't have a place to hang those. So one of the things I like to use are these shoe containers. You can get them at a lot of stores, including the dollar store, Walmart, a lot of popular chains. You can put your shoes in each of these and then you can stack them, and that helps you consolidate space, and then you can see through them in addition to that to let you know what shoes are inside. Sometimes when we stack things on our shelves, we want them to look a little nicer, and sometimes baskets can be a great way to do that, and they have baskets like these plastic ones at the dollar store. These fabric ones are also from the dollar store. So it's kind of a preference of look and durability. Sometimes I even take the baskets and stack them inside, so I've got the nice durability of the one, but the pretty look of the other. So some things you can hide in your closet and make them look nice is maybe you have some hats. So you can stack your hats if you've got this kind and just lay them in there nicely, and then they're hidden up on the shelves and they're stacked in a nice way. Sometimes we have other kinds of hats, a lot of baseball caps and different shape hats. And one of the things you can do easily is just fold the hat in on itself so the back side is tucked in. And then what you're gonna do is do that to all of your hats. So this is a baseball cap, I just stacked it in. My other hats, and you just stack them together by tucking the back side in within itself. And then what you've got here is a whole stack of them next to each other, and then you can just set them inside the container as well. And then they're all together and they look nice on the shelves. Now these are my leggings. Kids often have cotton pants, different things like this that take up some space in the closet. So I fold them in half and then I roll them up like this. Now you could put them in a drawer, but one thing I found that is hugely space saving is to put them in these baskets on your shelf, and then you just stick them upright so that they're quick grab and go in your basket, and they take up a lot less space this way. here's what they look like. Now I know a lot of us run out of space in our closet, so let's talk about a way you can space save in your closet. And I know what you're all thinking. I know, wire hangers, right? My husband still loves them though, so that's why we have them. But an easy way to space save in your closet is with just simple pop tabs or sparkling water tabs, whatever you might drink in your home. And you're just going to slide the tab over the hanger like this. I'm gonna slide it up here. And then you get your next shirt, you lay it on top, and you hook it in the tab, like so. So you can see I already have the other tab waiting here. So then you get your next shirt, put it on top, slide it through, and I got one more here. So I'm gonna put this one down, set it on top, and slide it through. And what this creates is a lot of shirts that hang together flatly in your closet. So you can do this with t-shirts, dress shirts, and a lot of different options. You can make series of them, color code them, whatever you want, but it's gonna conserve a lot of space because you're using it vertically rather than horizontally. Now maybe you have a lot of belts. So you might need something like this, and it holds belts and can hang in your closet. They're really easy to use. All you have to do is split it open like that and then slide the belt onto it. Once you get them all on, they're ready to hang up in your closet. If you have a businessman with lots of ties, you might want one of these tie holders. All you have to do is place the ties onto the hooks and they hang nice and they don't get wrinkled. And again, because they're vertical, they don't take up a lot of space. Now, there are a lot of options out there, and this one I actually found at the dollar store. You could use it for something like baseball hats, and you just hook them on and maybe stack them. So again, you've got your hats hanging. You could put jewelry on it. For this one, I use it for my belts, and I just hook my belts in there, and then I hang it up. Here's another variation on that, and again, this could be made for belts or ties or hats. I actually have some scarves. So I just put my scarves on them, I stack them, if you've got infinity scarves or warm weather scarves, and these could then hang in coat closets as well to be conservative in your coat hanging space. So it doesn't matter what space you're using, what closet you're using for, there's uses for things like these and everything. Like I said, coat closets, hallway entry closets, there's a lot of options for space saving techniques with these. Now another way I like to save room in my hanging clothes closet is I like to make outfits and put them together. So this is a skirt with a skirt hanging hanger. And I know what shirt I'll most likely wear with this. So by just putting the shirt over the top of it, so by making an outfit, instead of two hangers, you now have one. So you've space saved with every outfit that you make. Not that you can't mix and match, but it's an easier way to consolidate some space in your closet. You can also use regular standard hangers and use pants and shirts. You can make sets that way. I did that a lot with my kids when they were younger, and that way when they were getting ready to go to school, all they had to do was pull a hanger out and their whole outfit was ready for them, which made our mornings faster and more efficient as well. So we like to often keep our boots nice. So one thing you can do is take a pool noodle, cut it off by simply measuring the inside, making a mark, and cutting it off. You can use just a serrated knife for that. And then you stick it inside your boot, and this will help your boot stand up in your closet so that they don't bend over and they can take up less space by standing up tall. So I've showed you a few hacks, but I want to take you up to my closet so we can put some of these in action, and I can show you some extra tips as well. So let's talk a little bit about your closet. So when you're going to go through your closet, one of my number one things that I tell everybody to do is take everything out. So if you leave stuff in and you're trying to work around it, it doesn't give you a from scratch starting point, and you're going to end up keeping way more than you actually want. After you gut it, the next thing you want to do is vacuum the whole thing out and then wipe it all down. Get rid of all that dust that has been collecting over time. The next step is to go through everything. So what you want to ask yourself is, do you like it or do you love it? And when you do that, put them in two separate piles, and some of it you'll just know right away you want to get rid of. But put it in a pile, like it or love it, see how big that love it pile is, because that might be the only pile that's going back in. And then donate the rest to a charity, because there are people out there who totally need clothes and shoes. When you go to put the clothes back in your closet, You can choose things like picking all of the same color hanger. This will give it a nice cohesive look. You can also choose a couple of different kinds of colors that represent each category of your clothes. Some people even like taking it a step further, and they like color coordinating the clothes all the way across to create the rainbow and a visual appeal. No matter what your choice is, it's your closet, it's your choice. So make it something you want to walk into every day. If you have dress clothes that you don't wear as often, it's a good idea to put them in a garment bag to keep the dust off. If you want to make an inexpensive garment bag, get a garbage bag, poke a hole in the bottom of the garbage bag so that the hanger comes through, and then slide the bag over the item, and you have a very inexpensive garment bag. Now we'll put some of these items away, and you can see the space-saving difference that they make. I like the nice clean look that it creates. I wanted to show you some of the outfits that I created for hanging in my closet. So just a few options there of a few ways that I've done it. Now, sometimes I get asked, how do I reach the things on my top shelf? And I have bought one of these stools that folds flat and then pops open. And then, as I previously mentioned, with the pool noodles inside, my boots stand up nicely. And then just another example of a way to conserve some space. We bought this board from Hobby Lobby, painted it black, and then added the doorknob handles to it. And now it holds my jewelry. These are just hooks that are adhesive. So I'm just pressing one of these onto the back of one of my doors in my closet. I have placed 4 of these, 2 side by side here and 2 side by side at the top. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is, this is just a tension rod, and these can be bought for a couple bucks. And I'm going to use it in this way, and we're going to use this to hold some purses and bags. So I'm going to start by sliding the tension rod through the bag handles and then hanging it, and then I'm going to space them apart so they are on display. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the top here with these bags. Now, if you don't like the idea that you have to take the tension rod off every time you want to get a bag, you could go to the hardware store and buy some S hooks to hook on these. So all you've got to do is slide the handle off the S hook. But to me, it's not a big deal to get in here and slide one off and then hang them back on. This is just an easy way for you to display your bags, and they don't have to take up space on your shelves. With just a little bit of organization and a few tips and tricks, you can store a lot more in your closet easily.